This is our last topic before we will go to our first long test or exam. So we will discuss here are the scope rules and some other coding tips. A scope in any programming language is a region of the program where a defined variable declared its existence, but beyond that region the variable is non-existent. It's like a dimension where the variable exists. For example, your imagination has something that does not exist on the real world. So that is the scope. In C, there are three places where the variables can be declared. First is what we call the local variable. It is declared inside a function or a block. Next is the global variable. It is declared outside all the functions. And finally, the third is the formal parameters. It is in defining the function parameters. Let's go to local variables. A variable declared inside a function or a block can be used by the statements inside that function or block. A block is inside the open and curly brace. For example, Nathan or Jenny exist in your imagination but not in real world. They are the local variables and your imagination is a block or a function. If there's a person named Nathan or Jenny, be true to yourself because they are different person. Therefore, a local variable inside a function is not related to any variable outside of it, even they have the same name. Let's go to global variables. A variable declared outside of a function, usually on the top of the program, can be accessed by any function. This variable exists throughout the entire program after its declaration. For example, a person named Nathan or Jenny enters your house. Nathan or Jenny is the global variable and your house is a function. Though the global Nathan and Jenny can't enter your house for some reason. Now let's go with formal parameters. A variable in the function signature is treated as a local variable. To differentiate the three variables, let's examine an example program. The program has two global variables, a and c. It has two local variables of the function main, which is a and b, and there are two formal parameters of the function sum, which is also a and b. So in line number 3 to 4, we declare two local variables, a and c. In 6 to 15, that is the main function. So in 8 to 9, we initialize two local variables, a and b. So a is 10 and b is 20. You will notice that there's a global variable a. It means that the variable a used inside this main function is the local variable and not the global variable. Sorry, but a is inaccessible inside this main function, but c is accessible inside it. Okay? It means that the global variable a can't enter the main function because there is a local variable a. And C, the global variable can enter because there's no local variable C. Okay? In line number 10 to 12, it prints the value of each variable to confirm the scope of variables. In 13, it calls the sum function and assigning its return value to the global variable C. And 14, printing the value of the global variable C. In line number 19 to 24, the function that returns the sum of two formal parameters. You will notice that the formal parameters are a and b. It means that the variable a and b used inside this sum function are the formal parameters, and neither the variables of the main function nor the global variables. Though the variables passed by the main function to the sum function is accessible, but the changes of these variables in the sum function can't affect the variables of the main function. The reason is the variables are passed by value and not passed by reference. If you also notice, the main function calls the sum function where the parameters are b followed by a. It means that the value of a in the sum function is the same with the value of b in the main function, and the value of b in the sum function is the same with the value of a in the main function. Why is it so? Line number 20 to 22 is printing the value of each variable to confirm the scope also. And in 23, it returns the sum of the parameters. So, what are the values of the variables a, b, and c during the printing of their values? Try this program and you will know if you are correct or wrong. There is no initialization during the definition of local variables. It's sad to say, but they have no values at first, so you need to give them values. However, the global variables have initial values during its declaration. Do you think it's unfair, or do you want to be a global variable? The initial value of a global variable is depending on the data type. For int, it is 0. For char, it is an empty character or a null terminator. For the float and the double, it is also 0. Note, it is a good practice to always initialize your variables, otherwise your program will produce unexpected results. Unless you are good in C programming or you like unexpected results. Just kidding, okay?